Good evening, race fans, and welcome to BSTV. You've joined us for the first two rounds of the BSTV TCR Challenge Cup. It's season 13, and we are so happy to be back. We've got a loaded field for you. I am Pete Bing Chillin. I'm still keeping it. It beats Princess Pete, that's for sure. And I'm joined in the booth by Sir Alan of Toon. Good evening, Alan.
Good evening, Peter, my dear, and good evening, our friends out there in listening land and watching land. It's very jolly to be back here at Lime Rock.
Good evening, Pete.
Good evening. Yes.
Lovely.
I have a really good suggestion for you because of the paint packs.
I've got the paint pack sorted.
No.
I did. I downloaded it manually. There's a corrupt file on the website which is causing us a problem. But I've done it manually and I've checked them all and they worked.
Oh, you're amazing!
Hey, I am amazing.
Nobody ever said that to you. Good luck with that, and I'll be off then.
Thanks,
Good luck with
Wobbly.
podcast.
Thanks a lot. So yes, I've encountered a problem on our website with a corrupt paint file. I don't know which one it is, and the brains of the operation is not available tonight. We are at Lime Rock Park, Alan. It's quite a dramatic track, isn't it? Virtually every racer has raced here at some point in their career. But it makes for very exciting front-wheel drive racing, absolutely, don't you think?
Yeah, well, you know, this is it's certainly an important track to me. It was watching skippers going around here on YouTube that absolutely made it imperative that I build a computer, learn how to build a computer and build it so that I could go iRacing, so I could drive the Skippy around Lime Rock.
Right, okay.
I'd never even heard of it until iRacing, and I just wanted to. I wanted it really badly, and yeah, I love the place. It's I'm nostalgic about it.
Good. That's the way it should be, right?
They changed it. It's a bit of one of those changes. The new chicane is a radically different approach to going up the hill.
Well, thankfully, this is the classic layout. So we are going up the hill the way we were, the way that God meant us to. We're going.
Is really good news.
Yeah, I do not like that chicane. I am with you, absolutely 100%. Right, let's talk through some other features. So we have changed the times. So you'll see that we're still in practice at the moment. Qualifying isn't going to launch until a quarter to the hour now. So they've got 3 more minutes of practice-ish, 4 maybe. And then they will launch into qualifying. That's to help people getting home from work and being able to join and still get a decent amount of practice in. So glad we've done that. We have changed the reverse grid number for this season, Alan. We have changed it to 12.
Really?
It was deemed a little bit too easy to get to the front. So we've changed it to 12 to try and mix it up. And we've changed the fuel limit. We've increased it by just 5% to see if anybody can single stop it and fuel save the feature race.
Wow.
It's going to be like that all season, so if it's terrible for the season. But we don't believe it will be. The finest minds of the community have spoken, and that's what we have come up with. Those are the changes. We have also changed the point system. We've gone back to dropping weeks as opposed to dropping races. I could have made it work both ways this time. We worked out how to do that in the background, so the option's there for the future. But we've gone back to dropping race weeks. So your worst race week, whether that's a missed week or just a bad performance week, will get dropped now. How do you feel about those changes, Alan?
Oh, quite sweeping, Pete, really. For between seasons, that's really interesting. Especially the 12th place reverse grid, because that reverse grid was causing a lot of interest, wasn't it? It was potent. It did Being eighth, you were still in the stream of really very capable drivers, weren't you? Who really could hold off the faster chaps behind them. And this 12th place is a great chance for some of the lower guys to get a run at the front, isn't it?
It is, yeah,
I think
totally.
that's really very nice idea, and I think it's a great idea to try it. The
Yeah.
fueling, well, we'll see how it goes. You know, some of these guys saving fuel, but you know, why not have a go? Change it around.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely.
we've been doing this a long time. It doesn't hurt to shake things up now and again.
No, it doesn't. And other changes, so teams have slightly changed and drivers have slightly changed. I need to sort out Freddie's name on here because it's just F-Van. But new drivers to the season, to the series even. Hydro Racing Forces have come to this league now in force. Pardon the pun there. So we've got Freddie van Eekhoven. He's raced with us in GTCC previously. He is there in his Audi. Also in an Audi, if I can find him, is he on track? Yes, is Demis TCR. Also has driven with us previously. Very, very capable drivers, these two. Good I ratings and probably a very good team dynamic with them, I would expect. So that's an exciting addition to our series, Alan.
Yeah, very nice. Nice to see new drivers, and I like their paint.
Yeah, it's a lovely paint scheme. We see them in the V8s with other drivers. Alex Lado being one of them, Kenzie Newhoff being another.
Oh, crikey, that's a heck of a stable.
Isn't it just? I think you'd have to divide the I rating by about 1,000 to get back to my I rating, but there you go. Also, and we'll probably come to this after we've launched practice, we'll launch quali. We'll come to the end of practice right now, so the screens are going to go a little bit dead, folks. We are in heat racing. They are going to get chinned out of this pretty quick. There we go. For any of the racers that are new to the series and they've not done heat racing before, that might be a little bit of a shock. Good evening to David Ayres on the chat. Hopefully you can join us all evening with your occasional internet woes that you've had recently. Hope you'll get that fixed soon. So, other drivers that are new to the series. We've spoken about Freddie van Eekhoven. We've spoken about Demis. I'm waiting for the last one to come on track before we start talking about him. We've got some car changes. We have Sam Blees, last season's champion, out of his Audi and into a Veloster, Alan. That's a difference, a very big difference.
That's a big jump, isn't it?
That's
about as far as away you can get, isn't it? In
Definitely,
terms of the kind of car and the handling and so. Well, you know, it's having a great driver and whatever. He's looking for a challenge, and this, you know, we've seen how. Interestingly, because the Audi was performed well at the tractor, and the Veloster didn't do so well this season, and the Veloster did very well in the tractor. The Audi struggled a bit, so. Interesting to see it. Well, we know it's going to be really good.
Yeah, it is.
We can say for sure he'll be quick, and yeah, big change for Sam.
Yeah, Adam Wright has opted for the Honda, which is a change. He was in the Veloster last season. Who else has changed? Carl Hardy is still in the Elantra. Lee Bowden, I think was he still in a Veloster last season? I think he was actually, wasn't he?
Yeah, looks the same.
Oh, and the other driver that's joined us, Wobbly's new team, Impulse, that he betrayed us to join. He's brought along Miguel Freitas, Iberian iRacing legend, who will no doubt be very, very quick to the front, Alan. He is mega rapid. So Impulse, I think, are going to put up a real fight to Geodesic and to BSTV. BSTV did very well last season. Let's see who else. Oh, he's just gone second actually, as I spoke. So the two Impulse cars at the front of the field.
That's a strong team, Pete, isn't it? Goodness me, that is a strong team.
It's terrifying. I watched their official race last night. They were mega. Let's put it that way. But there are drivers in here that will take it to them. So drivers like Spencer. He is in the Honda. He was in the Veloster last season, so that is a change as well, Alan.
Right, that's another big change.
Isn't it? That's why we're starting the broadcast a little bit in advance of.
The Honda's getting a lot of love, isn't it?
It is. I've put the little emblems on the sidebar there, the tower, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Hondas. That's more than we've seen in previous seasons, I think. You can't split out the Elantras from the Velosters, but I can't even see them in my SDK screen either. And we've got 3 Audis, which is very different. Obviously, our stalwart Audi driver, Stefan Goebel, back in his favoured car. And he's good in it, isn't he? He's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah. Very reliable, regular, really good driver. And we like to see him out there, don't we?
Yeah, he's had some near misses on that. Sorry, go on.
I just wonder if they changed the balance of the car again, like they.
You know what?
Is there anything like that?
I'm not sure, to be honest. I don't know. The Audi is the one with the lowest gear shifting, as in when most cars are in like 4th and 5th gear. In like 2nd gear, it's in 3rd and moving into 4th, but its top end is brilliant. It just romps away on the big straights, or it used to. Whether they've changed it or not, I've no idea, as Wobbly goes faster again. So what's David saying? His PC has had a full lobotomy. Everything wiped and reinstalled. All seemed fine in practice last night. Right, okay, well, hopefully that's sorted your woes out. It'd be good that you can enjoy racing without the fear of dropping out, because that used to be a problem that I faced.
Yeah, nothing worse. There's nothing worse than that kind of technical issue.
Definitely.
It really is. Because, people get excited, they're looking forward to racing, and then the bottom drops out the world, really.
Yeah, too right. It's a horrendous way not to finish, if you know what I mean. Jamie Jeffrey is sporting, instead of the Durex car he had last time, he's now sporting a unicorn, which is very nice. I'm sure he'll appreciate that. If freezing continues, I suggest upgrading the PSU. Alright, yeah, okay. That's a nice expensive thing to go after. Right, let's see where everybody is. So where are the Audis? The Audis are about mid-table. The Hondas are towards the front, and the Hyundais are splattered right across the field at the moment, Alan. Although Stefan has just stepped up the Audi game and moved it up a step.
Yeah, yes. It's interesting. The last 3 Hyundais, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we've got quite a lot of them, haven't we?
Yeah.
Between the Elantras and the Velosters. Very well spread out. But I think this is, it's sorted by ability. Because, there's never a huge amount of difference in the time.
No, definitely not.
These are, the times are incredibly close, so it's interesting the way they spread out, though. It should give you some kind of indication of how well the cars are going individually around that track on that particular day.
Absolutely.
This isn't telling me much, except...
No, not yet. No. Someone else we need to say hello to.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
There we go.
Is Russell there?
What gave it away? Mr. Ranty is here. Yep, absolutely. Right, so let's have a look at where everybody is in provisional positions halfway through qualifying. This is going to be a great season. Don't forget, Sam Blees was your champion from last season, but only just. In the last race, or race week rather, was where he clinched it. So he's handling that Veloster nicely, though, isn't he? Because Wobbly is still provisionally on pole at the moment. Spencer is in 2nd, and Sam Blees is in 3rd. So the Geodesic boys really taking it on. And to wobbly, that is. And Miguel is in 4th at the minute, but he's got a nice bit of toe off his teammate. So will this slingshot Miguel into a higher slot? Not that time. Not that time. The two Geodesic boys have gone through faster. Gary Craig, who finished 2nd last season, is currently in 5th place. He said about being best of the rest, if you remember, Alan.
Yes.
And he definitely was, and he nearly got a victory, a season victory, a championship under his belt last season. Let's see if that consistency can bring him rewards again.
Yeah, well, you know, we wish him well. He's a fantastic driver. He's a real gent on the track. He knows his stuff. He's deeply knowledgeable about iRacing. He talks about stuff that I'll never even think about.
Yeah,
And, he has thought about it, and yeah, we like to see him do well because he makes the very best use of what he's got.
yeah. Oh, very much so, yeah.
Intelligent driver who makes the very best of his ability.
Yeah, and he only uses 16 or 17 fuel calculators to work out what he needs to get to the end, but he doesn't run out of fuel. Carl Hardy finished high up in the order last season. He's the only results representative this time round. And he's flying the flag for Result Clothing in the safeguard car, as someone's gone super wide there. Not sure. Oh, that's Sam Blees. See, yeah, our reigning champion, 2 seasons on the trot. Russ wants to know if I've tried butchering Demis's name yet. I've broadcast for him before, so I've butchered it months, if not years ago. David Ayres says, have you noticed Fat Boy is back in the Elantra? I probably shouldn't have said that out loud. It's like an outer monologue, isn't it? Bigger boot, more pies. Yeah, we have noticed that. He was in the Veloster. I got that a bit wrong when we were talking about people who changed cars. Sam Blee's a bit wide again. Right, we've got enough time, I think, to jump on board with... We'll go on board with Sam, seeing as he's given us such a roller coaster. So this is the last turn on the course. Downhill it's called, and then you go over the start finish straight here. You don't get to max revs, I don't think, before you need to get braking. No, you don't. This is called Big Bend. Don't know why. Before you get into this little short straight here, back down into 2nd gear usually. Yep. And into the S's, which is just this little bit here. And then this is what they call no name straight. I'm guessing, Alan, it's because it's not got a name. Anyway, go past the chicane annoying bit that I don't like and Alan doesn't like, and then up the big hill, the old way up the hill, which is called uphill. Down back straight, into West Bend, which is probably famous because you stay in 4th gear, you just roll it through there. You don't use the brake much in this car around this track, I don't think. And then back into downhill again. It's a rapid, hectic kind of lap, really, isn't it, Alan? The only place you get a bit of a rest is here.
Yeah, it is. There's not a lot of time off, and it flows like nobody's business.
It really does. Yeah.
But it's hard to get by.
Yeah.
You know, a determined driver who's holding the line, there's not a lot of room around him. So you're going to have to apply some serious pressure and hope for mistakes. I think a lot of these people might get stuck if everybody's holding the line and really...
Yeah, it does bottleneck this track, doesn't it? Yeah.
It can, so... But then we see a lot of cars together, and that would be great.
Yeah, so we had Sam Blees give us a lesson around the track there. Even into flashy Elmore, who... I don't know, has he realised that he's not good enough? I don't know. He's not racing this season, though, so... I'll just wave that red rag out, see if he bites. I'm sure he will at some point.
He should be missed. You'll be missed.
Yeah, there's no Spectre cars, actually, in the grid in the season this year. I think they're all out, sitting it out. Hopefully they'll return to us at some point. I know my Retinas could do with the rest. What about yours, Alan?
Well, you know, great drivers, great teams, and we've got a lot of luck for them. I wish them well, and I hope they do something fun while they're not here this season.
Yeah, too right. I think they'll all be having a rest. I think Matt Elmore's just going to eat himself into a hospital bed or something. I don't know. Right, so actually, I agree with Russ. The liveries were great, and I also agree that Matt Elmore's wheels weren't. Right, so we've already spoken about
Your
Jamie.
boxing green wheels.
Yeah. So, Gary Craig's moved. Oh, he had moved himself up into fourth. As I spoke, Miguel put in a time to get him on the third step of the podium.
Look at how tight it is, Pete.
I know. There's nothing in it. There's nothing in it.
Nothing at all.
1 second gets us down to 14th place. That's ridiculous. I don't know what to say with that, to be honest. That is ridiculous. As we have it right now, we're going to line up 2 by 2 with Impulse and Geodesic. So this could be a very exciting start to a very exciting first race of a very exciting season.
Well, it's putting a lot of pressure on the start.
Isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to have to get good cameras on this one. Which isn't necessarily my forte, even though I am all things apart from the wisdom, which is obviously you. Right.
You do a mighty fine job on the cameras, considering everything else you're doing, matey.
Yeah, it's. Oh, I thought Adam had done something strange. Then they're all getting ready to put their fuel back to racing fuel, I guess. And are parking it. The ones that are experienced know that you just get chinned out. So if you're not on a lap now, you're not going to be on a lap because we're inside half a minute to the end. Evening to Alex Lado, our Twitter king. Alex drives our Twitter account. So if you're utterly annoyed with it, it's his fault. If you're absolutely entertained by it, it's his fault. If we get better coverage, it's definitely his fault because me and Clyde do not know what we're doing with Twitter at all. What's that? Late to posting the picture. I think Russ has got a bit upset that his picture wasn't used, and I suppose rightly so because it was a really good picture. So let's go to grid, shall we? Right. So round 1 at Lime Rock Park here for season 13 of the TCR Challenge Cup with BSTV. Wobbly takes the pole for Impulse Racing. Spencer McCarthy in second. I don't know why his team's not come up because he is definitely geodesic. Miguel Freitas for Impulse Racing in third, with Sam Blees also for geodesic in fourth. I had this last season for the first race as well. Gary Craig for BSTV in fifth. Lee Bowden in sixth. Carl Hardy for Safeguard by Result in seventh. Adam Wright for BSTV in eighth. Jamie Jeffrey for CCR in ninth. Stefan Goebel for VTS Esports in 10th. Freddie Van Eekhoven for Hydro Race Racing Forces in 11th. Jamie Wilson for Team Chimera in 12th. 13th is Demis Chigchalar for Hydro Race Racing Forces. JB for BSTV Esports Blue is in 14th. Matt Flannery is in 15th for Geodesic Racing. And Fiona Siddons for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield brings up the rear of the field in 16th. With a good time, though, I have to say. Right, let's get set for racing. Let's get on a camera towards the front. I think we're going to have to go blimp a couple of times tonight, Alan, because...
Yes.
Not that blimp, maybe. But there you go. Yeah, that one's like... Yeah, blimp's not far enough away here. Carl Hardy, you can quit that. Oh, lights. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... And they're away. Front 2 went really well. And Sam Blees took it in. Yeah.
This clutch nicely as well, so it's honours even at the moment.
Lee Bowden a bit wide round Big Ben there. They've all slotted in as they were.
Lee's in a good position because he's an excellent quality.
Yeah. As we go through the S's here. It's highly competitive still, obviously. Now then, first place that we can see a big incident, a big off, is at the top of uphill. But everybody seems to have got through fairly standard. Yeah, everybody's through. That's good.
What a sight that is.
It's a magnificent sight seeing all these TCRs piling around these corners. So, round the last bend and down the start-finish straight for the first time. And we've got some competitive work going on back here. Freddie Van Eekhoven closing in on the back of Jamie Jeffrey there. Got to get used to... yeah, Wobbly has a friend now, Ant's saying. He's paid for him, obviously, but yeah, he's got a friend. For now.
Yeah.
We know what he's like.
Oh, it's nice. It's nice that what new drives to the league.
Yeah.
It's nice that he's got a partner over there. He's good by himself.
Yeah, I'm not sure where Stefan has parted company with the rest of the field, but he's a bit off the back. He's been off track a little, so we might have a look at that in a bit. See how he's managed that. Jamie Wilson back here with Demis. Getting to grips with the Elantra this season. Obviously, he was getting fonder of the Honda for quite a long time.
It's interesting, isn't it? How the cars are spread out this year. There were the Hondas and the Hyundais.
Fiona taking it to Matt Flannery here. Very competitive, Fiona, in this race so far, I have to say. Stefan slowly creeping up on the back of that group though. And then back at the front here, there's a little bit of a break. The top four have got away from Gary a little. And Gary's got Carl for company, his own teammate Adam for company. Ignore the fact that everybody's in different colours for BSTV. These two, as in Gary and Adam, are BSTV, and then the blue car of JB Deju further down the field is BSTV Esports Blue, so two separate teams. You can only have a team of two in this league.
This is tight at the top, isn't it? They're,
David Ayres is asking.
So close.
Yeah, David Ayres is asking if Wobbly found his friend on Grindr. Might have to ask him that yourself. Alex shouting. Sorry, go on.
Spencer's popped in the purple lap.
Oh, yes.
Already showing pace.
Let's get to the front here. He's obviously catching up with Wobbly. There's a bit of gaps forming behind Spencer. Let's see if we get any boisterous defending, etc. Alright, Stefan has just overtaken Fiona into... Is that Big Bend? Yeah, I think it is. And she's dropped off the back of Matt Flannery a little. And Jamie is literally just overtaking Demis.
Big Ben is just about one of the best overtaking spots, really.
Oh, yeah.
Two cars around there.
You can go around the outside. It's doable.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, yeah, I've been looped around the outside plenty of times.
Kevin has joined us. Clearly a Wobbly compatriot, as in the Impulse team. He said that it was hard for Wobbly to find someone in Impulse because we never drive Honda. Well, times they are a-changing, as they say. Who was that? What's his name? Times they are a-changing. Bob Dylan.
Yeah,
I think it was Bob Dylan. Oh, Adam Wright now getting very racy here with... and we've had Sam Blease off track for about a second. And he's dropped behind Gary, so he's out of that front piece.
Yeah, surprises me a bit.
Yeah, me too, actually. We'll have a look at what happened, because that is high drama from our reigning champion. Oh, he's gone wide here. Oh, is this on downhill? This is downhill. He's got crossed up with a tyre off on the grass, then taken a trip on the combine harvester and then rejoined. But then look at the speed, the overspeed rather, that Gary's carrying. And he tried to defend it. There was no way he was defending that. Nice position gain for Gary there. Accepts free podiums is his little handle on Discord, and on that occasion he really did. Up and over the hill with this group. Nothing going on right at the very front just yet. Spencer is staying with Wobbly. Without the attentions of Sam Blees, I wonder if Miguel will be able to do something and pull up on the back of the lead two. These four are in close contention. Sam Blees looks like he wants that position back, Alan.
Yes. Yeah, he won't want to hang around because the leaders are getting away.
Yeah, he sailed it a bit deep in there, and Gary got a better drive.
It's tough to get round somebody who's determinedly depending, you know, who's quick and holds their line so well.
Well, it's like you were saying before, the opportunities around here are not like very forthcoming, are they, really?
No.
You've not got too many lines to run at in most corners, although Adam is looking to press the issue here with Carl. He's not going to do it on that occasion, he's had to fall in. Matt Flannery now has been off track again, has he? Or was that that's his one from earlier, that's fine. So he's last in the queue at the moment as Spencer gets, again, intimate with Wobbly.
They've got a lot to say to each other. And,
Yeah.
But Fiona's plenty busy at the back this evening.
Oh, yeah. She's doing a great job at the minute. Adam Wright putting pressure on Carl again. We've got a developing situation here with Freddie and Jamie Jeffrey.
Well, that's an interesting one.
Yeah. Matt Flannery has just overtaken Fiona on the start-finish straight. Lots of overspeed, lots of tow. Will pop out before Big Bend, and through he goes.
You've just got to carry the pace down the hill under the bridge. And
Yeah,
it's
you do,
a
yeah.
tricky little corner, but you've got to keep it. You've got to keep it planted and go fast down there, because otherwise the straight's a nightmare.
Yeah. So Sam Blees in the sunset of this track was trying to have a look around the outside there of Gary Craig. Gary having none of it. Further forward, Spencer getting really on terms now. He went within a tenth of Wobbly.
Well, it's hard to get past, but you know, it only takes the slightest error, and these guys are on you like targets.
Very much so. There's quite a lot of battles going on at the moment. I don't know really which one to have the closest look at. I think it's got to be this one. I can only assume that Spencer's going to go for something here.
Jamie is in a battle with one of the new guys. That's nice.
Yeah.
See what they're doing. Jamie was great last season, wasn't he?
He was.
Outstanding season.
Jamie Jeffrey. He's mid-pack at the minute and getting a lot of attention from Freddie Van Eekhoven, who's gone very deep into Big Ben there. We're going to go back to the leaders because this is hotting up. We're not even halfway through this race, can you believe it? And this is just the first of two tonight. They get a bit of air going over the top of uphill there, don't they?
Well, you know, that's the perfect accompaniment to one of these races, because they really are. It's a sprint.
Yeah. Well,
They've got a charisma and energy all of their own that they've built up. You know, they're pretty special. These little bursts of high energy, high octane racing.
That was a magnificent overtake there. Whilst we were watching Freddie Van Eekhoven, that happened. That's Sam Blees round the outside of Gary. No stopping that. That was just too good.
Yeah.
He held him onto the inside there for as long as he could.
Absolutely awesome. But you know, Sam's capable of that kind of move and almost an unstoppable force.
Yeah. Now this was Spencer, probably overdriving the car a little. Maybe gets the tyre off, gets it under control eventually.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
he's dropped some time now to Wobbly. That might help Spencer actually, because it'll give him maybe more of a run up at some point. I don't know. He's got half a race to do this now, if he's going to do it at all. Back with this group. In fact, we need to go further back, Alan. So Stefan making his way back through the field after his lap 1 off track has found himself JB Dejoux.
Well, JB, much improved driver recently. He's got really been driving. Last season was the best I've ever seen of him. His driving, I thought it was fantastic. And yeah, he's a handful these days for anybody.
He is, yeah, absolutely. We need to go back again whilst we wait and see if Stefan gets on closer terms with this group, because it's a developing issue, this one. Sam Blees, Gary Craig. I'll put the battle box up because I often forget
It's a
to do
tasty looking group.
that. Yeah, it is. I'll put the track map up as well, and you can see where everybody is now.
Yeah, we desperate to hang on to Sam.
Oh, definitely. There'd be a great tow around the track, that's for sure. Stefan's getting busy with it now, looking for a way through.
Maybe just try and force a small error. You know, a bit of pressure never goes amiss. In a situation like this, where it's hard to get by, compression to the guy.
Yeah, and one of the worst places to take pressure is up this hill, because your car goes light at the top. If you get on the grass, your history.
Oh, what a fight I had with that hill. Learning when I first started
Yeah.
coming here and learning this, it used to terrify me.
There's a few drivers getting a few little tiny off tracks now. Spencer's had another one while we've been watching this little battle. Stefan's not got the run, I don't think, although he's pushing the issue.
Wow.
Can JB hold it? Because if he can hold it round Big Bend, he's on the optimal side to take the first portion of the S's, and he's going to keep this. Is he? Or is he? Stefan's kept in this well. Oh, he's had to give best now. That was a great bit of racing, that.
Fantastic. Doesn't matter where you are in the field, you can see great driving. There isn't any poor drivers in this lot. They're all really good drivers. They started really good. And then just get
Adam, there's a wall out there somewhere. He's missed it. He's
gone. Crikey. That was a close call.
Wasn't it? Opportunity for Lee Bowden, whilst Adam's tyres are going to be terrible. Let's see if he can do anything with that.
Reeve as well. He'll be a happy man to have got out of that.
Too right. Welcome to Albert Gandia Mudol, who's joined us as a subscriber. Thank you very much for your subscription.
Welcome, my friend.
Stefan's still pressing the issue here. Let's have a look at what's happening right at the front, though. So Wobbly's gap has started to reduce. He's been off track, but only very briefly. Spencer closing him down very slowly. Spencer's got himself a 2-second gap now to Miguel, who's in a bit of a gap of his own, as is Sam Blees. 3 seconds separates those two. Then it's just 1.3 seconds back to Gary. And half a second back to Carl, who's doing really well. Kept his race clean up to this point. Adam Wright, we saw him taking the combine harvester route at downhill, last bend. Now he's got Lee Bowden for company. And then we've got Jamie Jeffrey. So with the knowledge that we now reverse the top 12, Alan, the 12th place is currently held by Demis. So no pressure for the start of the feature race for a new driver to the league, if that's where he ends up at the end of the race.
Wow.
And and Jamie Wilson, just in front of him, is in a Hydro Race Racing Forces sandwich at the moment.
Yes, and don't they look nice together?
They do, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you like that, and nice to have new drivers for the league. We wish them well,
We do.
and that they're in with some high quality competition, and they're gonna have to. If they get results, they're gonna have to earn them.
Yeah, Racing Forces are currently 10th and 12th. They're on your screen, and they're resplendent Audis. That's for Albert on the chat. I'm probably saying your name wrong. It's probably Albert or something, but BSTV, we're not great with names. So if you want us to pronounce it correctly, then send me a message, and we'll still butcher it, but we'll do better. Right, so Adam is getting the pressure piled onto him now by Lee Bowden.
It's good driving by Lee.
It really is, yeah.
Adam's no slouch.
Oh, they're all at it again. Everybody's getting together. Oh, here we go. Stefan has finally got that move done in Big Bend. He tried it a couple of laps ago, Alan, and he's done it this time.
Yeah.
Good effort.
Well, very persistent, hard pressure, and he got his reward in the end.
Yeah.
But he works hard for his results.
He really does, yeah.
He has to work hard. That's it. It's not. He uses every bit of his talent to race. He's serious, and he tends about the whole business. And it's, yeah, great.
Yeah, David Ayre says nice to see the Audis performing well on iRacing still. Absolutely. It's a very different car to drive than most of the rest of them, as I understand it. Gear ratio is very low, as in you're in third gear, fourth gear, when everybody else is still in second. First just kind of gets you rolling. As Demis piles the pressure on Jamie Wilson now. This is very much an issue for Jamie. And not too far ahead, you can see Freddie has found Jamie Jeffrey. Surprised at Jamie Jeffrey's position. He was so fast last season. He finished 5th overall. And what a season he had. Hopefully he can do similar this time.
Well, yes, he was outstanding last season. I don't see any reason why he won't be. It certainly is competitive.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And who knows what's going to happen? It's early days, and this is just the first racing of a long season ahead. Yep,
it is. And it'll be a hard-fought championship for this. I know it.
I have to say, I think the signs are good. This is.
Oh yeah, everybody's paired off.
Very nice driving, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got Spencer very much closing in on Wobbly now. He's got the sniff of the toe. Changed to a more distant camera so we can see the gap back to Miguel in third. Well, you can't see it because it's that big now that he's out of shot. It's 3.2 seconds. There he goes. So these two absolutely ripping it. I mean,
yeah,
Spencer.
It's a big gap because the time gaps are very small, so it's actually eke out 3 seconds is some performance.
Yep.
Not even a tenth of that.
No. They're so close to one another all the time. David Ayres says that Veloster must have hit every branch whilst falling out of the ugly tree. I know some people like that, but let's have a look at what Lee and Adam are doing. Lee is having a really good long look, but he's not in a position to do anything at Big Bend. You've got to really carry huge amounts of momentum through there. Behind Freddie and Jamie in a similar position. Something's happened to Demis. He's not got an off-track showing, but he's definitely dropped away from Jamie Wilson, that is.
She had a moment or something.
Must have, but not enough to actually show on any incidents. A bit wide there as well. You gotta be careful around this track. The grass is so fast, like it is on a lot of iRacing tracks. Ooh, checkered flag, checkered flag.
Goodness me,
That crept up on me again. So Wobbly took the win. It finished as it was. So we were right to be watching other stuff. Oh, look at that.
Oh.
That is Carl Hardy out of fuel, getting pushed over the line. So he's dropped quite. Has he dropped quite a way down? No, he's gone back to 7th. So that shows the racing spirit that we've got going on here. That we are pushing fellow racers over the line, even if they're not in the same team. What an amazing event. So, go on.
You put too many pies in. You have to take some fuel out.
Maybe that's it. Yeah, maybe Flashy was right, saying that it was a car with a bigger boot for more pies, and therefore it's weighed him down. You just don't know, do you? Right.
That was a very nice thing to see, wasn't it?
It was class. Really appreciate that. So, let's have a look at our race results. In round 1, Wobbly took away the win for Impulse Racing. We'll have to make up the names of the teams again. Spencer McCarthy for Geodesic Racing finished in 2nd. Miguel finished in 3rd for Impulse Racing. So a good all-round result for them. Sam Blees for Geodesic Racing White finished in 4th. These are Hydra Race Geodesic Racing cars, by the way. Mustn't forget their sponsor. Gary Craig finished 5th for BSTV. His teammate Adam Wright finished behind him. It possibly shouldn't have worked that way because Carl Hardy, pushed over the line by Lee Bowden, finished in 7th. Lee in 8th. Jamie Jeffrey for CCR finished 9th. Freddie Van Eekhoven in 10th for Hydra Race Racing Forces. Jamie Wilson in 11th for Team Chimera. Then Demis Tigchalar in 12th for Hydra Race Racing Forces. I will sort the teams out on here. JB Dejoux in 13th for BSTV Sports Blue. Matt Flannery for Geodesic Racing in 14th. 15th was Stefan Goebel for VTS, and Fiona Siddons for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Finished 16th and rounded out the field, but was in the thick of the fighting all the way through, and a really good performance from everybody, I think, there, Alan.
Yeah, no, that was really very impressive driving and exciting because they're so full of potency and potential. I think that's a lovely looking grid, and we've got some really great talent lining up, and yeah, we're going to see some great racing pieces. It's a mouthful to impress right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
So, at the moment, nobody on track. So for those of you that are new to this series, we do a 20-minute race, no pit stops required, 32% fuel, as I said at the start. We reverse the top 12 from the first race, which I think does put Demis Tigchalar on pole for race 2. Yeah, no pressure, you know what I mean? So we have a 5-minute interlude. Often you get people coming out in order to practice pit stops. It's not the most challenging of pit lanes at Lime Rock Park, it has to be said. Some of them require a little bit of practice before you have a stab at it. So yes,
easy to get caught. There's not a long run off from the track into the pit, so you can get caught speeding if you're not careful.
Yeah, true enough. You often see in some leagues cars spearing off into the right-hand wall as they come around that last bend.
Yes, I did myself many times.
I
saw your initials on there, Pete.
Yeah. In fact, they've put a plaque on there for me, and they've got a crate out back for all the bits of my car that I've left around over the years. Many times I have been in the walls around this place. As Fiona joins the track, probably to do a practice pit stop. It's worth doing. and we've got a different fuel this time, 35%, like I said.
Great view of the hill under the bridge. How steep it is. You get a really great impression of the steepness of that. It really is a steep little thing.
It's mega, isn't it?
The car goes light. It was, that bit of the track where you were talking about where the car goes light. That was the first time ever in my life that I felt that. I experienced that sensation of a car going light through a 4-speed back wheel. It was there. I never felt anything like it in my life. It was amazing.
Alex has found the emoji button on the YouTube chat and is smashing it for all it's worth. It's probably going to break due to overuse, but David Ayres says it's a very dodgy pit lane entrance here. You do have, it is quite tight once you've actually got it all lined up, but it's not the most complicated. It's no Laguna Seca, it's no Bathurst, you don't need a sat nav in order to navigate the many twists and turns to get in it. But I do get your point. The last bit, as we watch Lee doing it there, is reasonably sharp, and if you're at speed and getting down to speed, it's quite a challenge. We have gone check it in this little 5-minute warm-up for the feature race. So mandatory pit stop, we think. We don't think 35% is enough for anybody to fuel save it. Not at this track anyway. But we'll sit and wait to be proved wrong. Right, so we need to go to grid again. Yes, here we go. So let me get rid of that other graphic. There we go. Demis Tigchalar will go off pole for Hydra Race Racing Forces in round 2 at Lime Rock Park for the TCR Challenge Cup. Jamie Wilson from Team Chimera will go off next to him in 2nd place. Then Freddie van Eekhoven. I'm going to race through this because they're joining the field pretty quick and it'll just go. Jamie Jeffrey in 4th, Lee Bowden in 5th, Carl Hardy in 6th. 7th will be Adam Wright. 8th will be Gary Craig. Sam Blees will go off 9th. 10th will be Miguel Freitas. 11th will be Spencer McCarthy. And our race winner from round 1, Wobbly, will go off in 12th. 13th will be JB Dejoux. 14th will be Matt Flannery. 15th will be Stefan. 16th will be Fiona. I need to change the graphics because we are going racing.
Green.
Wow. Well done, Pete.
Oh, look at Adam. What a jump on Lee's got there. And on Carl. Wow, whole shot.
Right, he done that close.
If you're a Racing Forces fan, get your camera out. Somebody's gone wild there. We've got lots going on back here. We'll have a look at that later. We are staring down the barrel of a 1-2 at the minute for Hydra Race Racing Forces. Lee Bowden off track twice, taking it sideways in the S's safely, though.
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh, Adam, where you going, mate? Oh, Adam's car's mashed. Everything happening. You wouldn't think this was a feature race, would you? It's basically an enduro for these cars, but let's see what happened in all of that. Stefan, has he kept out of trouble? Yes, he has. Right. So, all going on there as...
This 12-person reverse.
3 wide in a big bend. That's not going to work, I don't think.
Shaped it up beautifully. This is awesome.
It is. Where's the fast guys in all this? Because there's a massive gap behind what is now Jamie Wilson back to Spencer. Oh, and is that Miguel with no front fender? It is.
Oh,
Miguel's been in the wars. We're going to have to look at that start again, Alan. I think we missed it in the foreground, whatever was going on. Gary Craig has got a toothless grin as well now. In fact, most of the superfasts, if you know what I mean, the ones with the high ratings and ex-champions and things like that, have got some form of damage.
Yeah. Well, if I was going to get damage and deal with it and cope with it, it's those chaps.
Yeah, Lee's reset to the pits. We can't really look away from the racing at the minute because they're doing things like this.
3 wide.
Are you kidding, boys? Oh!
Oh!
What are you doing? And that's that's Demis. That was. He's going backwards reasonably quickly at the minute.
That must have been terrifying, Devon.
As Jamie Wilson says, "What about me? Let me through as well."
Goodness. That was
Stefan,
awesome, wasn't it?
it was. Stefan's getting racy here with JB. That group at the front there. Phew, good grief. Lee Bowden's reset to the pits. I showed it on screen. He should get going. He's got a fast repair. They do have a fast repair in each of these races.
Oh, that's good news.
Yeah, Jamie Wilson lining up now. Matt Flannery's been off track twice whilst we've been watching Jamie. And Fiona's gone past him. Adam Wright's gone to pit road. He's driven there though. Matt Flannery's desperately trying to get in pit road. That might be a dodgy pit lane entry. Somebody will be able to tell me that. So you might see him serving a penalty at some point, because that was lastminute.com. And over the solid line. You're allowed over the dotted line. You're not allowed over the solid line on most tracks. Gary Craig has passed Sam Blease.
What?
Yeah, you heard it right.
Oh, no.
Although, can I find it? No. No, can't find it.
Wow.
Sam Blease is definitely
That must have a
ailing.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wobbly has just gone scampering past Spencer, who I can only believe has had a slowdown. He did go off track for quite a long time. We'll have a quick look at this, and then we'll get back on it. This is going to be into downhill. Last corner, he's going to go wide at the exit. He's crossed up already, drifted out, trying to get back on safely. He does so, but look at the overspeed.
Oh, done.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's going to cost it.
definitely.
Hey, lucky to get away with it, and he'll be glad to still be on the back stop.
My stream is still running, Alex. Just F5 your browser.
Is that Carl Hardy with the fastest lap?
Is that Carl Hardy with the car? It is. Do not adjust your sets, folks.
Yay! Way to go, Captain.
Way to go, indeed. So, Jamie Wilson piling the pressure still on Demis. But Freddie Van Eekhoven holding on to the lead at the minute of this feature race. You wouldn't believe it was. You believe it was a 40-minute sprint race. We've said this so many times before. And the light will start to fade from this point on, folks. The last quarter of an hour of this may be headlights only, because the sun is about to set at Lime Rock Park. It can only get more dramatic, if you can believe that, even for a moment. I'm going to go back to the start of this race. I do so at my peril, because there's still racing going on. But we're going to focus our attention here on Miguel. He was the one with the most damage that I saw, apart from Adam, obviously. He'd absolutely minced his car, but that was nothing to do with this. Let's see what happens here. Everybody launches well. He gets a really good run. Adam is up inside everybody's grill just ahead. Gary gets pushed onto the grass by Carl and then comes across. And that's where bits of cars and the chaos reigned. How did Miguel switch his car back around? He must have just gassed it, I'm guessing. Sam Blease tries to get back on and nearly collects people. But that is what happened at the start, Alan.
Wow, that was a mighty. What a shebang that was. Don't see that one again, do we?
No, I'm exhausted. I am exhausted.
It just shows you in close quarters, like that, even among the most skilled,
Yeah.
you can lose it.
I think pit lane is going to fill very quickly with ailing, very fast drivers at the earliest opportunity, which I think is probably in about 4 or 5 minutes' time.
Right. That's very early, though, isn't it? We're only
And-
6 minutes.
Alex has called it utterly right on the chat. He said that's too little for what it could have been, and you're absolutely on the money. That could have been just a massive pile of scrap.
Well, we've still got drivers in the race.
Yeah.
It's
So-
mobile scrap.
It is. It's mobile scrap. Yeah, rolling. So this is Wobbly and Spencer now catching up with Jamie Wilson. Jamie won't be happy about seeing that in his rearview mirror. And Wobbly gets a little helping hand. Little helping hand going round downhill. And Jamie's to the pits. What does Jamie know that we don't? Wobbly relegated back to 6th after very briefly achieving 5th. It has to be said. Spencer got through on him that time. Miguel is just in the background there. His headlights work, even though he's not got a front end on that thing.
You might need them later.
He probably will need them later. Gary Craig, the other car with a toothless grin, is back here. Has he been in the pits? Because that car looks good. He has. He's just been in the pits. So, maybe he's pulled a blinder here. This is at the very front, Alan. This is Freddie Van Eekhoven, no stranger to racing, good irate, being chased by Carl Hardy, who's closed him down.
Freddie's doing a really great job, I think.
Yeah.
His first, it's his first night with the league, and he's there leading and holding his place for. He's been there for 8.5 minutes.
He has. He's doing a great
Over
job.
his lead. That's fantastic, isn't it?
It is.
Carl's large in his mirrors, but he's certainly he's not succumbing to any kind of pressure.
So,
I think the thing is, all these guys are experienced. There isn't anybody out there who's not an experienced driver. They all know their way around the circuit and how to handle themselves.
yeah, definitely. And we had formation pit stops from Impulse Racing there. Both have pitted the car. Sam Blees, your fastest man on track now, after his pit stop, and 2.5 seconds behind Gary Craig. Spencer McCarthy to pit road to cover off whatever those Impulse Racing boys are doing. Carl Hardy and Freddie.
Oh no, they're battling.
And Jamie Jeffrey there to try and mop up whatever falls out of the tree.
Wow. That's so exciting stuff.
Isn't it just?
I'm loving the way this 12 reverse and shit things up.
Yep. Anybody visiting pit road of these three this time, I wonder? We go through West Bend and then into downhill. Nobody peeling off that I can see. No, those three are staying out. So you've got to commit now, really, haven't you, Alan?
Yeah, they need to go for the. Well, they've got to stay out there as long as possible.
Yep. So we've got.
Take advantage of the light car as well.
Yeah, definitely.
They'll still have good tyres, so it is possible to actually do that. And we've seen it before we can actually produce some really fast laps, consistent fast laps, and actually make a difference then when you pit stop. So it's always worth trying it, that's for sure.
Yeah. So Spencer's come out in front of Wobbly, as it was before Wobbly pitted his car. Jamie Wilson just behind has got the attentions now of Miguel, who's now got a nicely fixed car. Enough fuel to get to the end, probably. Maybe has to do a bit of fuel saving. You can see Gary in the background there, and Sam Blees behind him. So all the high I-rated drivers are there. But this is still going on at the very front, and we have to watch this because Carl has been an irritant, really, to Freddie, but Freddie's been defending brilliantly and keeping the pace good as well when you look. Last lap's 54 seconds. I'll put it on last laps, actually, instead of the one it's on. There we go. Miguel and Jamie in the thick of it at the minute. Wrong Jamie. Just give me a sec. There we go. And Miguel's through. We'll just watch that again because there was a good exchange there in a big bend. My fingers wouldn't click the right name. Or is that my brain wouldn't select the right name? One of those two things is true, Alan. Let's have a look at this.
He got a part of his car missing still.
No, it's all fixed.
Please wait, mate. We're racing.
Just thought I'd do that just for fun.
Oh yeah, just black.
Yeah, so a great exchange, very, very controlled racing. I think
Fantastic. It's
Miguel's
just
gonna.
been a treat. What a treat we've had of
Ooh.
Patty overtaking and
Oh, I thought Freddie was gonna do something nasty there, as in come across and wipe out Carl, but they are side by side, I think. No, they're not. Carl's fallen in at downhill. Jamie Jeffrey has a run. This is gonna go. Oh, Carl's gone uber defensive. He might as well have driven down pit road. He went that far to the right. So as they were. Oh, blimey, this is.
I'm not sure I want
Somebody
to
pass me my blood pressure pills. This is this is the first 2 rounds. Miguel lighting up the timing screens with fastest laps. I think he'll fit in well with racing as controlled as what we just saw.
Yeah, I've been impressed with everything I've seen from the new guys tonight. They've been fantastic. Just fitting in like hand in a glove.
This little battle here for the very front of the field could be under threat. They are losing about half a second a lap on the other guys, so when they pit, they will potentially lose some places to where they were originally. I don't know though, because there was a big gap, wasn't there, between these guys and the rest of the field, really, after all the shenanigans at the very start.
Yes, they had a decent lead, that's for sure. But yeah, they're losing time now, and it's inevitable when you're battling the way these guys are.
Yeah, so just for everybody at home, you score points for fastest lap. You score up to 3 points, I think it is, for leading laps. What on earth did Carl Hardy just do? What was that? Was that an attempt to go to pit road?
It's a new grass attack.
Something, because what on earth was that? SDK even thought he entered pit road. Let's have a look at this. Round downhill. Has he got grass on the left? No. He went to pit road and then bailed.
Oh, he was going too fast.
He was. Or he crossed over the thick line and didn't want to get a penalty. So that is.
Change of plan, clearly.
Yeah. This is Fiona a bit out of position because she's yet to pit, and Miguel's just overtaken her. Ooh, race leader Freddie has joined pit road. He's left Carl Hardy to take over the lead of the race, with Demis not too far behind and Stefan not too far behind him. Yeah.
And Stefan's doing really well too.
He is. JB is still on, still owes us a pit stop. He's the last of the cars that hasn't pitted. Oh, sorry, apart from Fiona. Freddie has come out behind Miguel, behind Wobbly and behind Spencer. I think that possibly means that our effective race leader after pit stops is now Spencer McCarthy.
We'll see how he walks.
Oh, hang on. What on earth?
Jamie.
Yeah, Jamie Jeffrey, sorry, is the race leader at the minute, not Carl. It's me being utterly dumb as usual.
Well, Jamie's got by and he's created a gap as well.
Well, Jamie got through when Carl did his fake pit stop. And I just forgot that he'd gone past. So Jamie will be picking up points for leading laps. I mean, he finished in 5th last season, so I'm not surprised he's doing well already and picking up points. Wobbly with the fastest lap of the race, 53.155. And he's got a good toe, and he's got his teammate behind him. And then look at that, Freddie Van Eekhoven doing a brilliant job after his pit stop. Technically 4th in line. Very nice. Oh, this is getting dirty back here, look. Gary and Sam have caught onto the back of Fiona, who's yet to give us a pit stop. And she'll probably let him go here. She is doing, I think, yeah. Oh, she's still got a toe in though, so Gary will get through. I'm not sure that Sam will. Not yet. I mean, Fiona's still racing. This is, you know, legitimate position. He's gone round the outside in the S's and then got the favourable line into the last portion of that. So on they go.
Very nice driving by the girls.
Yeah, yeah.
Takes two to tango like that, and it's yeah, really held their line beautifully. So yeah, really like easy. Very predictable. It's just what you want on the racetrack. You want the guy you're going by.
Yeah, yeah. She did what she was supposed to. Continued on her racing line and at her racing speed. That's what you're supposed to do. Adam Wright parked it some time ago, folks, after redesigning his Honda. Alex says JB showing pace. He really is, yeah. Doing a great job in the Audi. Not the Audi, in the Elantra. So, does Carl still owe a pit stop? Yes, he does. He's got to get filled up on pies. He's currently running on track second. Demis, Stefan, JB, who's not in shot. Where is JB? There he is. And Fiona still to owe us a pit stop.
And of course, big change at front.
Yeah, we've got Wobbly really, really close now with Spencer, so we'll have to see how this develops.
And now I'm making eat now, before you have to come in. We have to get a push in.
Yeah. So we've got a few gaps in the field, but certain places where we don't have any gaps is Jamie Wilson has popped out in front of Gary Craig, who's now running him down.
It's so very confusing when after the spot.
Yes.
No, you know about it.
Carl Hardy.
Who's winning?
Yeah.
Carl's finally given in on this one, so.
He has.
But he wanted to come in before, but I think his hand was forced to be, wasn't he?
Well, it looked like he wanted to pit early, yeah, and he's just chopped the whole race in half. JB has joined pit road behind him. So Jamie Jeffrey continues to lead this race.
He's going really well.
Yeah, Dennis is in second, but he's nearly 4 seconds behind. And Stefan is right on Demis's tail. Next car in line is Spencer McCarthy, who has pitted. And Wobbly is his shadow, but Miguel has caught onto this. So we've got 3 for first place now. Alan?
So Jamie's got in the pits.
Oh, he has, yeah.
Demise is in front, and Stefan is in second place. Well done, Demise.
Well, for these guys now, for some, you know, I'm not going to say easy points because you don't lead races easily. They get lead lap points, or at least Demis will.
Wow, it's amazing. That's just brilliant the way that's worked out. First appearance, first in APR.
We dare not look away from this battle, because something needs to give here, or will give, at some point.
So Wobbly's got a teammate. It's a new situation for him. A couple of weeks. It's been solo, so now he's got somebody behind him as well.
Yeah, I wonder what it costs him to buy these friends.
Very nice paint, I think, on those cars as well. Love that colour. But yeah, very formidable pairing this season. So, going down to the drive, it's all very fascinating stuff.
So, Demis is now pitted, which
He's
leaves...
in the pits.
Oh, and where... Oh, Jamie had already pitted, hadn't he? That's right. So that leaves Stefan out front to lead a lap or more. I mean, we're only just over halfway, so I'm sure there's more laps that Stefan can give and gain some points along the way here.
Is that Spencer going back by?
Sorry?
Oh, it's okay.
No, at the minute we've got some very close battles. We got Sam and Jamie. Lee, who's in the background there, is somewhat behind. Further back, we've got Jamie Jeffrey has come out right behind Demis, which we kind of expected, really. As he pushed it alongside and downhill, that's a bold move from... Oh, and there goes a Hydra Race guy. He's missed the wall, though, which is brilliant. But that was a really nice move, actually, for Jamie to get alongside at that corner, because he just put the other car way offline. And he did so very well. That certainly was close, Alex, yeah. And whatever word it is that you've typed in Spanish above that, probably don't want to know.
Yes, well, fortunately, no damage done.
No damage.
A bit of frayed nerve ending, so.
Yeah. Sam Blees back here mid-pack.
Yeah. But we've seen already what a fantastic overtaker is.
Yeah, Alex has said, shame for Demis, he just pitted and had fresh tyre to fight for that position. They don't change tyres in this. Tyres are good for 2.5 hours or more, I would think. Unless they've changed the tyre model all of a sudden. So, Sam Blees, nice overtake at Big Bend there, very clean, very textbook on Jamie Wilson. I think Jamie Wilson's going to get Lee Bowden trying to unlap himself shortly behind him. As Sam Blees now sets off after Gary Craig, who's that far ahead, 2.2 seconds, and making his way uphill.
Well, Sam will be coming hard now. Nothing to hold back for. He'll be facing Gary. We know how good he can be, so it'll be fun for him.
Yeah,
Nothing like having a nice chase.
Oh, yeah.
And Gary will very much enjoy trying to keep that gap there and as large as it's possible to do.
Too right, yeah.
Why we do these things, isn't it? It's absolutely brilliant. Both ends of the battle are really exciting. Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, so we've got Wobbly showing his nose at various corners. It's all fakery, of course. And Spencer's a very, very wise racer, real life racer as well, so he's not going to fall for things like that. It's going to take a proper, clean overtaking attempt from one or more of these impulse cars to put Spencer off, I would think. Carl Hardy has now caught with Freddie van Eekhoven, our one-time leader of the race for quite a long time, to be fair, Freddie.
Yes, Carl couldn't get by him in all that quite a long time.
No.
He was running second place, of course, and we're back to that situation. There it is. But of course, Gary's behind them.
And
wasn't that Gary in front? So yeah, Gary was built.
Yeah, Gary in front of Sam.
Yeah, presumably Gary's going to catch Carl, I would think.
So just as a
Oh
reminder,
yes, it's slightly quicker. You see, it's slightly quicker.
yeah. Just as a reminder to the folks at home, you'll notice the headlights are on and the shadows are building. The last possibly quarter of an hour of this might be pretty dark. We should pass sunset very shortly, and that'll give a new dimension to everything. Lee Bowden has pitted the car for a second time. Not sure what that's about. Maybe underfueled it, something like that. Maybe he's got a penalty. Who knows? I mean, he's been sideways on the grass at least once. Miguel now putting pressure on Wobbly. I don't know whether these guys will do what the geodesic guys do and just race. You can see your way back here to Freddie, who's now under massive pressure from Carl. Carl's got him offline, but he's pulled it back to the racing line, and then Carl's spooked himself at the top of the hill there, Alan.
Oh, it's scary, isn't it? The car goes so light, you feel like you've got no control. Yeah, it's very hairy place on the track. But they were both going for it there, so could have been thinking about a disaster while they did slightly.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're racing hard. They're having a great time, and I'm sure that Freddie's having a great time out there.
No, without a doubt. Your race leader at the minute, provisionally, is still Stefan. We are obviously nearly approaching the 3/4 mark of this race. Lap 32, and he's gaining good laps led, but you max out at 3, so let's see what he can do with this now. Maybe he's got a solar powered car, who knows. It's going to not work for him though, because we're going dark. These three as they were. Further back, Gary has now found Carl Hardy. So the last time these two were together, Alan, was race start, lap 1, when Carl moved Gary over onto the grass, and that was the start of what followed.
Well, they're good friends, so I'm sure there was some.
Well, they were. There's nothing to say they still are.
About it.
You know.
Discussion about it in Discord, I'm sure. An exchange of views, I imagine, of some kind. But I'm very impressed with Freddie. He's kept his calm, kept his cool, and kept his pace.
Well, Alex.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot. He's been under constant pressure.
Yeah, he has. Yeah. Alex is waiting for the night stint from the Racing Forces cars. And he, I think, thinks that they're gonna magically make a difference. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think Limerock's particularly great track in the dark.
There's no lighting.
And things.
Yeah, nothing.
No, the other cat size.
Start, finish straight, and that's it.
Yeah. So, yeah. It certainly makes as a dangerous element, because your judgment of.
Whoa, Carl Hardy! On a big send. A big send. Well, it wasn't a send, it was a proper attempt at an overtake, and he's got him wide here at West Bend.
Wow.
So they pile down the hill, and he's going to get this done. That's Freddie Van Eekhoven offline, and Gary Craig's slipped through there like a rat up a drain pipe, and Sam Blease is also going to mug Freddie for another position.
Oh my word.
So Freddie, sadly, lost 3 positions there. Sadly for him, that is. Big bonus for everybody in front of him now.
Wow, that was some kind of a move from Carl, I've got to say. Hard to imagine anyone would be braver than that, but they both kept their heads because that was so horribly wrong.
Yeah. Adam says save the replay, Pete. I will. There's going to be so much footage for what happened last week next time round. Promo video-tastic, this stuff. So, is Miguel going to try anything on Wobbly? Are they free to race one another? Or is it going to be team orders? Lee Bowden's back on the track, is he? Yeah, he's back on... Oh, no, he's in pit road still, is he? Let's have a quick look. Oh, no, he's back on the track. That's good. All worth circulating for. You don't know who else is going to crash, especially when you had that happen at the start. Miguel still has the fastest lap, and it's a 53.0. Wow. He was putting them out last night in the official, because I watched the official last night.
It's mighty impressive.
Fiona has finally pitted. Kept it going all this time and finally pitted the car. Well done to her. Spencer is still second at the minute because race leader is still Stefan out on track, getting lots of good shots for VTS Esports.
Yeah, he's doing a grand job tonight, isn't he?
Yeah. Freddie is putting it back to Sam Blease. That's a healthy bit of overtaking right there. Fiona's trying to keep out of everybody's way now because she is a lap down and staying off the racing line. As these guys come hooning it through.
Yes, you don't really want to be getting in the way. I can well understand how she feels. I've been in that situation many a time.
Oh, that's wobbly. That was Freddie getting wobbly over the top of the hill there. But he's kept it cool and under control again. Sam Blease still behind him.
So easy to lose the car there. He's ended up in the wall.
Tell you what, that's good racing from Freddie.
Yeah, but
Really
superb.
is.
Well, you know, look what car had to do to get past it.
Further forward, Gary and Carl still racing together. Now that is Spencer getting past Matt Flannery, and Matt Flannery just at the wrong place for wobbly.
Yeah.
I'm sure there'll be conspiracy theories abound.
There it goes.
There's not many places to go at the top of that hill, to be fair. So Matt Flannery can't make his car disappear completely. So, right. So finally, Stefan has pitted the car, and he's come out in front of this dogged battle between Freddie and Sam Blease.
Wow, he come out right into the.
He's in the thick of it. He really
He's
is.
Yeah, he's in the frying pan, all right.
Right, so Sam Blease has re-overtaken Freddie again for about the fourth or fifth time in the last 3 laps. JJ, they're together now. Jamie Jeffries caught up with Jamie Wilson. And Miguel has overtaken Wobbly, so I'm not sure what that's all about. Maybe Miguel has more speed. Maybe it was a proper overtake. We'll have a look at this now. So what happened here? So onto downhill, Wobbly, bit of curb, gets out of the way of his teammate and lets Miguel go. Let's see what Miguel can do about Spencer. Maybe,
yeah, well, you know,
maybe Wobbly might claim he's got damage from that touch with Matt Flannery. It looks like a 0 contact because it's not come up with anything on my screens. Not that that's the thing to be focused upon, of course. Yeah, thanks, Ant. We do like the likes on YouTube. It makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside. So if you can like the broadcast if you're watching it, we'd appreciate it. So Sam Blease has now got away from Freddie somewhat and has got on the back of Stefan. And further forward, just a bit further forward, we've got this going on between the 2 yellow and black cars of Carl Hardy and Gary Craig. Team Jamie further back, nothing to do with one another really. Both in the Lantras, both called Jamie, different teams, slugging it out. And at the front, wobbly, dropping off rapidly. Like, rapidly. Not sure what's going on there. Did he pick up significant damage from that touch with Matt Flannery? We will no doubt find out, because he's not backwards in coming forwards with whatever he needs to share, is he?
He's a very good communicator. That's good. I hope there's nothing seriously amiss with his car.
I mean,
That was very unfortunate.
it didn't look like a massive hit, but he's let his teammate pass and he's dropping time. He's safe in terms of the car behind him, which is Carl Hardy here, who's thrashing it out with Gary at the minute.
Gary's a bit quicker on his lap time, so he's definitely been held up by Carl or just. I think he could probably make a move at any time, really.
Yeah, Spencer McCarthy, the first driver to go sub 53 seconds tonight, 52.989. So I think Miguel's going to struggle to catch him, is the best way to describe it, I think.
He's smoking. He's away off the track, his tyres are melting, and you're going to have to go something to catch him. He can skedaddle with this chap.
Yeah. Right then, what's happening with the Jamies? Jamie Jeffrey looking for a way through here. He's right on it. He's just not able to do anything with it.
He's got the edge in pace, hasn't he? But yeah, it's very difficult against determined opposition. And Jamie Wilson is a very skillful and experienced driver.
Yeah, very. As Gary has a look at doing the outside line, he's gone too hot into Big Bend this time. There's no real cutback because it's too much of a distance to the second apex in order to do a cutback there. So that one will balance itself out. And Freddie Van Eekhoven has caught up with Stefan.
I was doing a heck of a job.
Mm.
I was wanting to go, but even though we know that was slightly quicker. And he was hounding Freddie.
He was, yeah.
He has to use something extraordinary to get by him.
Right then.
Definitely's got a good position.
Oh, we are checkered again. I've missed it again.
Yeah.
I was too busy doing other things. So we'll talk about that in a minute, shall we? One thing I did want to watch, which is what I was busy trying to find, was Sam's overtake on Stefan, which was another around the outside by the look of it. He's very good at this. Brings the car to the inside to give it the worst approach to the corner as possible, even though Stefan backed out of it anyway. Ooh, and tried to fight back, that was good. But then that was a deal done. I'll get these race ends right one day, won't I, Alan? Maybe.
Well, you know, Pete, it's engrossing stuff, and
It really is.
I'm with you, but I was on the ball
The
tonight.
last time I looked at the timing clock, it said 33 minutes. I had 7 minutes to get ready. Still failed. Anyway, Spencer McCarthy took away the win in the feature race, round 2 at Lime Rock Park on the classic format for the TCR Challenge Cup tonight. And that was for Geodesic Racing. Hydra Race Geodesic Racing. Is it? Yeah. Miguel Freitas came in second. So he's had a very successful night for Impulse Racing. Second step on the podium. He had a third in the first race, so that's a good night's racing for him. Wobbly finished in third place for Impulse Racing behind his teammate after some form of altercation with Matt Flannery. Carl Hardy finished fourth for Safeguard by result, with fifth being Gary Craig for BSTV. Sam Blees finished sixth for Hydra Race Racing Forces White. Stefan Goebel finished seventh for VTS Esports. Freddie Van Eekhoven finished eighth for Hydro Race Racing Forces, with Jamie Wilson, the lead Jamie in this race, in 9th place for Team Chimera, Jamie Jeffrey in 10th for CCR, Demis Tigchalar in 11th for Hydro Race Racing Forces, with JB Diju in 12th for BSTV Esports Blue. Matt Flannery finished 13th for Geodesic Racing, Hydro Race Geodesic Racing. Fiona Siddons finished 14th for Matthews Logistics with Vapors Mansfield. Lee Bowden finished 15th, and Adam Wright finished 16th for BSTV. Well, he didn't finish, he quit out after rearranging the look of his car. Right, Alan.
Wow.
Just so much action, so much drama. I'm almost too tired to do the interviews. I'm not too tired to do the interviews, but there you go.
I know what you mean, matey. It was fast and furious tonight. And, it's a mouth-watering prospect for the rest of the season.
Certainly is.
We saw some real quality driving tonight. Outrageous.
Some of it really was.
Lovely.
It was amazing to see a good proportion of it. So we shall clear down the screen. We shall do a bit of this as we wait for people to join the interview room. We should do a bit of this. It does look like being a fantastic season. We've got a good viewership tonight. We've got fantastic racing clearly tonight. It's going to be as hot as it was for season 12, I think. What do you think, Alan?
Well, it's all the signs are pointing that way, Pete. I've got to say, it's dramatic. It was how I'd describe the racing tonight, and I think there's going to be more of it to come. They're only going to get settling down. The new drivers are going to settle down, and it's just going to be as close as you like.
Yeah. So we will start with some interviews. Everybody else is busy having a chat amongst themselves at the moment. Nobody in the interview room other than, if I press the right buttons, Fiona Siddons. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you doing? Back with us for season 13. Here at, what did you call it before? The karting track?
Go-kart track.
Go-kart track, yeah.
It's hard work.
It is. It's intense, isn't it? You don't get much of a rest apart from when you're on the start-finish straight, and even then, if there's people lapping you. Yeah, not for long, yeah. You, in that second race, you were, and we've just seen it on the screen, you coasted up to the scene of the crime, if you take my point.
I see it happen.
Yeah, and managed to avoid getting any damage to your own car, which is the best start you can hope for, to be honest, when that happens. Talk us through 2 races.
It's been hard work. I'm sweating. I just feel like we just got out the shower at the minute with the corners. But
it's a warm night. It's a warm night.
Yeah, I was hanging on to the back of people for a fair while in both races.
Yeah, we saw that. And Alan mentioned that you were really competitive for quite a while. You stayed out quite a long time before your pit stop in that second race. And it seemed to do you well. You kind of kept in that rhythm and didn't disturb your rhythm by pitting the car. Does that sound like a fair statement to make?
Yeah, that's why I stopped out as long as I could. I thought if I pit, then you've got to come out and start again. So.
Yeah. And good footage for Matthews Logistics again for Vapors Mansfield. It's a lovely liveried car. We've said it a few times. What are your hopes for the season? You obviously joined us partway through last time, so you can have a full season of hopefully better than go-kart tracks.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I enjoyed tonight. I don't like the track at all, but I thoroughly enjoyed it because I could stick on the tail of people and
Yep.
Yeah, well, yeah, it was fine performance tonight, B. Yeah, enjoyed watching you drive so well, and yeah, keep it up.
Thank you, Alan.
Is there anybody you'd like a shout out to before we let you go and practice for wherever we're at next time? I had such a dramatic pre-race evening, setting everything up and finding things that had failed, that I forgot to look. It's Watkins Glen Boot, so it's the full track.
Oh,
Yeah, I love Watkins Glen.
yeah, tasty prospect.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
Beautiful track.
it is. It's
Did we
wonderful.
just do a 6-hour charity race there last weekend?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
we
what-
did.
Yeah.
You were there, weren't you? Were you there?
Were you there, Fiona, for that charity race?
I wasn't. No, I was looking after my mum. So
Okay. Yeah,
she
real
was
life
on
kicked in.
duty. She
Yeah.
was, yeah. But
Right.
yeah, up to 6 hours at Watkins was fun.
So, any shout outs you want to make, Fiona?
you and Alan for putting on a great stream. I'll watch it back now we're finished. And anybody at Matthews Logistics and everybody at Vapors Mansfield.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will let you go and get some advanced practicing for Watkins. We'll tell everybody else it's at a completely different track, and that'll give you an advantage.
Definitely.
We'll just tell them it's a different format of Watkins, even if they do get a sniff of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, great to have you back again for season 13, and we wish you all the luck for the season.
Yeah, thank you. It's good to be back and good to have a full season at it.
Yeah, nice one, B.
Cool, right. It looks like they're having some sort of autopsy and looking at Spencer's screen, so I think there's some discussion of what's going on. So we're not going to pull Spencer in because everybody's looking at his live stream at the minute, but we'll try and get Wobbly in. Good evening, Wobbly. This is a family show. Please do not swear, even though I think you probably want to.
No, I'm fine, mate.
Are you sure? Have you calmed down?
I wasn't really mad, to be honest. I was more annoyed a little bit than I was mad.
All right. Well, we'll talk about that in a minute because first race, round one, you commanded a victory, and it was commanding. It was really well raced. Spencer put some pressure on you, but wasn't able to do much about it in the end, or anything about it in the end. And your teammate followed you home, as long as I've got the right finishing order for the top three. But it was a flag to flag for you, really, wasn't it? You poled it and got the win.
Yeah, I want to say that I started 4 races this season. I started 5, but then I got. I should say it nice. I got a little bit of an incident, but no. But it was a good race. I think I had the pace. Spencer was on a similar pace. If Spencer would have gotten a pole, then I would have been stuck behind him.
Yeah.
I do think that he did put pressure on me, and then we saw Fiona approaching on the last lap, and I was kind of scared she was going to interfere, which she didn't. But to avoid that, I did slow down half a second the lap before, to be sure that we didn't run into her back at the last lap. Which worked out. At 2 incident points, I think, so it was clean as well. Just
good.
I good to see that Miguel got in 3rd position even after. Oh no, that was the 2nd race. But good to see him on the pace as well, because I think I was like a 10th quicker than him, but he's new to the Honda, so I'm expecting him to be at the front next time as well.
Well, he goes into the bucket of most hated because if he's new to the Honda and he turned up last night in the official and followed you home. Because I watched it all. So yeah, he's in the most hated box because you shouldn't be that talented over such a short amount of time. His I rating's immense, isn't it? So he's obviously a very well practiced I racer. Second race, there was a kerfuffle at the start, which started between Carl Hardy and Gary Craig and escalated fast. But I think you got away with all of that, didn't you? Or did you get slowed up by it?
Yeah, I saw it happen right in front of me, and then I think it was Lee Bowden, his car got spun and moved out to the outside line, and I figured I was gonna go for the inside, and then suddenly Spencer had to brake real quick and real hard, and I reacted on it. I was already slowing down, but I still tapped him a little bit. We got a 4X, and I did break his rear bumper somehow, but he didn't really have a slow pace due to that. Yeah, I got through pretty easily, to be honest. I was scared that was gonna be it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't. And after that, I was behind Spencer. I started fuel saving, and it was touch and go if you could make it like a no stopper. But that would lose a lot of time if you did. If you did. And so like during the race, I thought I had a little bit of damage, but it was like a driver's mind, right? You know, like the car feels weird after the first lap, and it wasn't because I went in early, but I went in early because we encountered the back of the pack, and I knew I had fueled something like 5 liters or something.
Right. Okay.
So hoping to get clean air, but then Spencer had a good in lap as well, so I got stuck behind him again, and it was touch and go again if you get the extra lap or not, and I just kept going behind him, and then saw Matt coming in. Which eventually, what happened was that Spencer tried to push him off a little bit, like he tried to get past real quick.
Yeah. We saw
and
it.
Then,
it was at West Bend.
Yes.
And
as
Matt came back to the racing line, you were kind of almost there.
I know Matt, and I'm pretty sure. I'm sure he didn't do it on purpose. This was just one of those things which happens, and yes, it's frustrating. But my initial reaction was, "What are you doing?" You 4-letter word, and then after that it was, "It's okay, mate. He was in Discord, so then I told him, well, it's fine. Don't worry about it." And the weird thing was, I had massive amount of damage from that because it didn't look.
We noticed the drop off in your time. Initially, I thought you'd let your teammate go on a driver's agreement, but we then realised that you were slowly drifting backwards.
Yeah, I had no force feedback when going over the crest, the crest of the hill. Over the uphill, because I had to wheel in like 30 degrees angle to the left. So everything was weird, and I did manage to, in the end, well, I did get an extra offset, but I did manage to get a good lap at the end, but it felt super weird. It was tough to drive, and the weird thing was I had no damage on the outside. I just checked.
Right.
Yeah, so if it would have been like a league where I know that people block, then I would have been mad, but I'm not. That's for the record, so I'm not mad at Matt, just annoyed that it happened.
Yeah.
I maybe it's on me because I figured that he would stay wide. He didn't. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. I was saying on the broadcast, you know, there's not a great deal of extra line through West Bend, is there? At speed, there's only one line, but you know, arguably, you got to preserve your own line, and what drivers should do is stay on the racing line.
I because Spencer got through and I got on the curb. I thought that he would lift off a little bit, and then he suddenly closed the door, and I think he just got put off by Spencer as well, who almost tried to overtaking on the grass. So no hard feelings. Then third position, it's fine. I'm just annoyed about the incident points because I was doing quite well.
Yeah. You were, and you really did. So a first and a third, you can't be too upset about that, really. A second and a third. So a great night for Impulse Racing, your new best friends.
Well, on that note, I actually today I became an official member from Impulse. That's pretty cool. I was on a trial membership where I had to prove myself to Kevin. Kevin, I hope you're listening. I had to prove myself my worth to Kevin.
Yeah.
But
if I'd known you were having to prove yourself to him, I'd have given him more abuse.
Good result for the team. Good result for the team championship. Good result for the drivers championship as well. I think that Spencer probably has the first position because of the issues. But he did collide with Miguel at the end, so that counts as a 4x for Miguel and him. But that happened after the race.
Right.
Well, good result, good race. Unlucky about the first lap. Unlucky about the incident with Matt. But overall, I think I salvaged the best of it.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. We've got Watkins Glen Boot next time. It's some people hate it because they go there so often. Some people love it because it is a really nice track. It's a flowing track, overtaking opportunities galore. Really, when you think about it. Your opinion of Watkins Glen?
Not my favorite track, but I'm really quick on it.
All right, okay.
I dislike it, but I'm fast on it.
Yeah, I have to hate you, because if you're fast on the tracks you don't like, then you really should die. Anyway, any shout-outs you want to make before we let you go and start practicing, because we know you do?
I practice like an hour and then sit up. Anyway, thanks to you guys for setting up the broadcast. Thanks to the league, great bunch of lads. Not thanks to Matt because he's something. No. To the other drivers, clean racing. Unlucky for Lee Bowden in the beginning. Good to see Miguel up there. Shout out to the Impulse guys as well because we did a really good job today.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we'll see you next time out at Watkins Glen. Wobbly.
Bye.
Right.
That's wobbly.
Yeah.
I just wanted to say bye again.
I'm sure you did. Oh, it's so annoying, isn't he? I'm gonna have to take that access off him at some point soon. So Spencer is still showing his screen to people. Can you believe that? There's no Miguel in the interview room to chat to. So next up, we're gonna tear him away from Spencer's screen and speak to Sam Blees, our champion from last season. Had a bit of a rough night in certain areas tonight. Got yourself a fourth in... No, is it a fourth? Yeah, fourth in the first race and a sixth in the second race. But you were in some serious thick of it for quite a long time, weren't you?
Yes, it was. It wasn't the cleanest start to my
Title defence.
Yeah, that's the word I wanted. Yeah, it could have gone smoother.
Yeah.
I haven't done a lot of practice, to be honest. I was just getting used to the car chain, driven the Veloster for a while, and I meant to do so yesterday, but I got busy and it was too hot and I couldn't be bothered. So yeah, I've ended up coming in a little bit green, or greener than I'd like anyway, and working out the setup as I went a bit in practice. So yeah, it was good. I started to get on top of it towards the end, and I think actually at the end of both races I had good pace.
Right.
But I was compromised by mistakes in the first race, and then by the carnage in the second race meant I pit too early, and I was saving all race until the last three, because I was another couple of laps and I think I'd have had Gary and Carl. I mean, I would have run out of fuel, but so would they.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, it was just I had the pace, but I was having to rein it in the whole of the second race to get to the end. And although I wouldn't have, the fuel limit change was the only reason I was able to get out, because otherwise I'd have had to stop again and it would have been miles away. So yeah, it was good racing, and it's good to see some new faces and some new people on the track, and Frederick in particular I had a good battle with and a good overtake against, so that was good fun. But yeah, it's not my cleanest or most point scoring meeting, but it comes. Yeah, it'll come. Yeah. Hopefully next time will be better. That's what drop roads are for, right?
Absolutely, exactly like you've just said. Races, or race weeks rather, because we're on race weeks now, like this. New sponsor? Or is it? First time for this league, at least.
For Jid, yes. No, I think, well, we probably neglected to sign up with the correct sponsor name last season.
Oh, is that right? Okay.
Let's go with that. Yeah, they're not that. It's not all that new Hydro Race to us. The chap who owns it, or one of the owners, is actually part of Geodesic.
Oh, right, because they also sponsor the Racing Forces team. So that was getting a bit tasty when it was Racing Forces, Hydro Race versus Hydro Race with you and Freddie at one point.
Yeah, absolutely. I saw that. So yeah, it's I mean, it's obviously always good to have new teams and new sponsors in the league, and it's newish for Geodesic.
Yeah,
and yeah, nice to have the new liveries.
Too right. And what was the other thing? For some reason, my graphic now shows your team name, even though when I put you up on the grid and put you up on the results, it doesn't. So I need to figure that out, because I've clearly done something right and something wrong. Anyway, what are your hopes for the season? Is it another victory, another championship? Is that what you've set your sights on, or are you here to enjoy whatever happens, or are you here to just get in the thick of it? What's your plan for this season?
I'd certainly like to be up there. And it's good to see Miguel coming in, and I think the way the teams are structured, probably Wobbly and Miguel are gonna take a lot of beating. I think it'd be unlikely if they don't get the teams championship. But at individuals, I think on my day and on the right track and with the right setup, I can certainly take it to Wobbly and Miguel and Spencer. I didn't necessarily show any of that tonight, but with a bit more prep and a bit more practice for next week, hopefully I can. So I'd like to be there or thereabouts at the end. Historically, it's not been outright pace that's been good for me. It's always been consistency. I've always been the one who's just scored the points and not had too many bad races. And even if this ends up being a drop round with a 4th and a 6th,
yeah, that's going to be good.
That's still that's a very good season if I can make this my drop round. So maybe if I try and do that, make sure I turn up for all of them and keep plugging away, then yeah, we'll see where we are come the back half of the season. But hopefully I'll be somewhere nearby.
Cool. Any shout outs you want to make before we let you go and practice for Watkins Glen?
So I'm not that keen. But yeah, thanks to you guys as always for putting it on. Looking forward to watching the broadcast back. And I'll just re-shout out to the new guys jumping in, Freddie and I forget the name of the other chap, but always good to see. Sorry, go on.
Demis.
There we go. Oh yeah, I did remember that, but I couldn't pronounce it. I don't remember. I didn't see it. So yeah, always good to see them on the track, and Miguel Freitas as well. Obviously, I've raced with him a lot. He's been around various leagues and officials and things. But yeah, the more people we get racing at the front, the better. And yeah, it looks like we've got a tight front pack and a tight midfield, so should be a great season.
Yeah, odd that we've got a legend like Miguel racing with a leg end like Wobbly.
You don't choose your teammates. Well, you can choose your teammates, but somebody there has made a serious mistake, and it wasn't Wobbly.
We will see you next time at Watkins Glen. Glen, our current and reigning TCR Challenge Cup champion, Sam Blease.
Thank you, guys.
Good luck, Sam.
Right, he's now stopped sharing his screen and doing an autopsy of whatever was going on at the start of that second race. So good evening to Spencer. You must be a very happy chappy tonight.
Yeah. I think to come out in the Honda and be on the pace is really good. I think I have raced the Honda before a long time ago for a season. Obviously it's a bit better now, but yeah, to race toe to toe with Wobbly, who was obviously mastering it last season, I'm really happy with.
Awesome stuff. Race 1, you were forced to follow Wobbly over the line at the end. It was. I saw your official race last night, and you.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, you got stuck behind Gary for a little while, then got past Gary. You were chasing the two impulse drivers down, but they had too much of a gap after you'd managed that, I think.
Yeah.
Tonight, not the case. You were on it like a car bonnet, pardon the pun, and really took it to Wobbly for a lot of race 1, and managed to avoid, I think, all the shenanigans, mostly, in the second race. Or am I wrong about that? Because Sam took the brunt of being the off-track king, I think, and got muscled out.
Yeah.
Poor old Gary got turned after. Well, he ended up on the grass after running out of track to drive on, and was the cause of the scene of the crime, I think. Yeah.
It's so race 1, as you say. I got as good a start as I could get. Again, still slightly learning the car, but I think I got an okay start. I think Miguel got the best start of the three of us, to be honest. But I got a slight jump on Wobbly. But again, I've not learned when to release the clutch fully yet. So let's see how we go. But yeah, just once we kind of settled into it, got the tyres up to temp, started trying to find out, where there were some weaknesses or any sort of. It is a pretty much impossible track to overtake around here. As you say, I managed to do it on Gary last night, but I'm guessing there was a slight element of overspeed that I had on him.
Mm-hmm.
And the characteristics of the Honda are quite good, I guess, for the brakes. So I did manage to get around the outside of turn 1, but I already had a really good overlap on it before getting there.
Yeah. So
you have to get such a good run down the start-finish straight to do it. And the other corners, because there's such left, then right, then left, then right, you kind of, especially with the first section, you can't really get a run on anyone. And if you try and go through side by side, you're going to compromise yourself so much. But yeah, I'm again happy to get the second place in race 1. Tried to minimise the incidents. I did get a few. I think one more than Wobbly. So but then I got the fastest lap, which was good. And then in race 2, yeah, that T1, unfortunate. Yeah, it was. I was completely unsighted, so I didn't really know where to go. I got to jump on Sam a little bit. Miguel was obviously on my outside. I was looking where he was going, and then all of a sudden Lee's facing me, and because I just didn't see him at all.
Like,
Yeah, absolutely. So then I actually went into I stoved Lee's front in. I was on the brakes quite heavily even before that because I was trying to hang back, trying to let it all sort itself out, and then Lee appeared, and I just couldn't stop in time. So I stoved the front of his car in, but luckily for me, obviously in iRacing magic, I didn't get a front end stoved in. And I think because what happened was as Sam hit him, I hit Lee. So it was kind of like I think all the damage went to Sam, not me.
Oh, dear.
So it was like, ooh, okay, thanks very much. But then
the
Wobbly
iRacing gods and the solid air has caught you.
Yeah, absolutely. So, but Wobbly did nail me up the rear.
Hey.
Ooh, misses. And then he was then chatting to me in game saying, "One of your wheels looks like it's falling off." And I'm like, "Great." So the car felt a bit second-hand for a few laps until things bedded in.
Yeah.
And then Wobbly got past me. I then made, I think, I don't know if you can find it on the replay, but the best PCR overtake in the world, where it was that perfect amount of lift someone off their line just to go through. So
is this on your own team, mate?
No, this was before the pit stop. So this was as I went back past Wobbly again because he was kind of half fuel saving and doing whatever else. We went into the last corner, and it was I overtook him before the pit stops. I think it might have been the lap before he pitted or something. And then it was just into the last corner. It was the slightest amount of lifting his rear of his car up, which then gave me a car's width to then mosey on through on the last corner without either of us having an issue, sort of thing. So it was quite funny.
Right. I think it might be what we're about to watch on screen. Let's see. So that's Wobbly. Oh, we're a bit stacked up here. Yeah, this is before the pit stops, or is this after the pit stops? I can't tell.
I've shut it down now, so I can't remember the lap. But
might be this. It looks like it's this. Yeah, it is. We watched this live. I think you gave him the slightest of touches.
Lightest nudge, but then we came out. Yeah, we came out. He didn't go off. No, there was no dramas. It was like, dink, thanks.
Excuse me. Coming through.
Yeah.
Whether you wanted to or not. That's class. Yeah.
It was a great little overtake.
Yeah.
And then I came out of the pits, and then I kind of crapped myself because then Wobbly was like, "Oh, you put less fuel than me in," and I'm like, "Oh shit, did I?"
Yeah, from the guy that is always running out of fuel, Wobbly.
Exactly. From the guy that never has enough fuel, I'm like, "Oh no, what have I done?" So as I went in the pits, obviously I'm scrabbling to trying to work out the fuel calculator really quickly because you get no time around here to do anything. So I thought I'd do it on the way in the pits. On the way in the pits, I'm like, okay, we'll turn the auto fuel off. I'm like, oh, the tyres off. Then press the tyres button on my Stream Deck and then accidentally press the fuel button to turn the fuel off completely. I'm like, oh no, turn the fuel back on again. Oh no, then it went back to like 8 litres. No, turn it down from 8 litres. And I don't know what I ended up with. I really don't know actually what I filled up with. I think it was 6, but it must have been 4 because Wobbly was like, I put in 5 and you must have put in 4. And I'm like, really? So I was then having to save and try and defend for the rest of the race, which was great fun.
Yeah. I mean, unless something bizarre has happened with the points, I think you're going to be top of the pile at the end of this round. This race
I got loads of incidents. So I also got 2 after the checkered flag where Miguel thought we were all going, because as you do them, you just go straight on and park it and then go to the pits normally and officials. But as you know in BSTV, we like to do the slow down lap at the end, pretend that we're real racing drivers. And then
why wouldn't you?
Yeah, exactly. So he's flashed and came next to me as if we're going to do a virtual wave to each other, like again, real racing drivers. And then he then went straight on, and I turned around the corner. It's like, oh, okay, yeah. He doesn't know this yet. And then so that was another 2x.
Oops.
At the end there. So I think I got 12, which then I think brings our points pretty much level. I think.
Oh right, okay. Well,
I'm guessing.
We'll have a look at that as soon as either Gary publishes it or I upload the
Yeah.
points, which will
And
probably be
we
tomorrow.
won't talk about. I mean, I'm going to have to also mention as well obviously my teammate doing me a solid.
Yeah. Let me see
now-
if I can find that, because that needs to be our top seed, doesn't it? It was somewhere around here. So no, that's you passing back markers. Doodle-a-diddle-a-doo.
Is it like 37?
Yeah.
36, 37, I think.
Closing in on it now, I think.
It's looking like a really fantastic season in prospect, Spencer. What do you think?
If we can keep this up, it looks like it's going to be close all the way to the wire. Hopefully, Sam will get his head around that Veloster as well. And I think this track didn't quite suit it, and then we'll have the Velosters up there as well, and the Elantras.
Sure, Sam will get up. But it's fascinating the car change, and it seems to make some own new level of interest and challenge for you. And
everyone goes on about getting fonder of the Honda. I mean, I have got fond of the Honda tonight, but that's only because my hatred for it was so big. I just don't like the sound of it. It feels like you're not. It should be there's like another 2,000 RPM left in it. It's almost like you feel like you're always changing too early. It's a weird car, I think, and I've just got to get my head around it a bit more.
Yeah, I can't find the other one, so we have to pass without it.
Yeah, so obviously we went into that lap, and I'm like, right, Matt's in front of me, and the first thing that Wobbly says it first after T1, he's like, "Oh, Matt, do us a favour and punt Spencer off." Obviously, as we're coming through, and I'm like, "What, Matt Wobbly? Come on, he's my teammate." I said, "Matt, let me through, and then just park it at the next corner afterwards. Thanks very much." Anyway, and that's kind of what he did, but it wasn't intentional at all in the end. Matt wasn't. But then I think it was unfair for me probably to sort of be barking at him during the race.
Yeah.
So that might have distracted him a bit, and he got a wheel on the grass. So yeah, it was unfortunate that happened, I think, and weird like damage for Wobbly just on what looked like quite a tiny bit of contact.
Honestly, on the broadcast, it looks like nothing whatsoever.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just crazy.
Yeah, it does in my replay, but obviously he then put his steering wheel out of alignment. So yeah, it's a shame for him. So on to the next one. Level points. Starts this whole season doesn't start until next week.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fantastic watching you race yet again, and it really does look like it's shaping up to be some kind of season. Those impulse boys are fast. Let's see if they can individually be as fast as either yourself or Sam or some of the others that are featured at the top of our leagues over the last few seasons. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Again, you guys for getting this all set up. We've got some new faces in there. You're obviously pushing the series, and we're getting some. Hopefully, after the first round, I know there's some people couldn't make tonight, but we'll get the numbers back up for the next couple. And it's looking like a really good season. So well done. And then thanks to the guys, the regulars, and the newcomers for coming out. And racing a million laps around a very tiny track. So, shout out to everyone.
Awesome stuff. In that case, we'll let you go and start your practice for Watkins Glen Boot for next week. And see if you can elbow those impulse boys out of the top spots in the officials next time.
Give it a go. Cheers.
Cheers. Right, and then last up is Jamie Wilson, probably mid-sentence, not sure, who has switched himself into, if I can find it, the Elantra for the season. Or is it? How's your love affair with the Honda going right now?
Picture me as like, when they do diving off of a boat and people like hold their nose and fall backwards? That's me getting into the Elantra, The problem I had in that race was that I had unconsciously reverted back to my primal form of braking as if it's a Honda.
Right. Okay.
So it took me until the end of the race, conveniently when Jamie Jeffrey was chasing me. So I'm sure he wasn't pleased that I figured it out. But I twigged that I was doing that and tried to and also cooking my left front as well. So I just kind of gave it a bit of a rest and adjusted my braking a bit, and I found a bit more pace that I hadn't found up to that point. So.
Right.
It is quite a big adjustment.
Yeah, I've heard that the behaviours of the cars are quite dramatically
Yes.
different. Obviously, the Audi with gears is the most ridiculous because whilst everyone else is in like second gear, you're in like fifth.
Yeah, you don't need the lower gears and that. You may as well just be a CVT, just leave it at six. But yeah, the Audi's more kind of conventional though. The both of the Hyundais, there's a very specific driving style that you need to use to get the most out of them. And I'm not au fait with it yet. And also, I set the car up a bit kind of conservatively because I'm not ready for the full-on shopping trolley handbrake turn sort of philosophy that
waggy
perhaps
back
others are
end,
used to. Yeah.
Even with the Veloster, it's a shorter wheelbase car, but the back end is the only way you can make it drive fast is have that back end stepping out on you on pretty much every
variable
sharp
steering,
turn.
isn't it?
Yeah, pretty much. But we saw you in the Battle of the Jamies, and you bested him on that one. And that's a big scalp to get because he was fifth in the series last season. So, and race one, you'll have to remind me. You were.
I started second in the second one, so I must have been 11th.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully you can take that education forward into the next races. Do a bit of practice, get that muscle memory in for where you need to brake and how you need to brake and when you need to turn. Yeah. You've got Watkins Glen Boot next week. I was going to say, I remember you once telling me not your favourite.
Yeah, I'm washing my hair that day. No.
But yeah, fantastic. I think I've got one of the banners wrong. I think Spencer's has got a champion on it and he shouldn't. But I'll sort that out.
Is he not a past champion?
I don't think so. And I don't know whether I changed that. I can't remember because I've changed some.
I did some tweaks. I might have done that, but I could have sworn he was.
No, I don't think so. I think he's the fastest car we've got that really hasn't. I'll double check. But yeah, it's certainly showing up to be a very competitive season, isn't it? When you look at the guys at the front this week.
Yeah, sorry, I was just looking that up. You've got me checking now. Yeah, and it says on this website at least. What season is this? 12.
13.
Says it. No, last season.
Last season.
Who won last season?
Sam.
Why does it say Spencer on the thing then?
Oh, ignore that. It was a different point system running, wasn't it?
That'd be why then.
Aha, of course. Yes. Right. Okay.
So what we're saying is that it's your fault.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I shoulder all blame for everything in BSTV. That's been the case since day one. Even if I'm not in charge of the mouse that's clicking the button.
Yeah. You pushing Gary off at the start of race 2. Yeah.
Yeah, that'll come back at me at some point. Don't worry. But yeah, it's going to be a great season, isn't it? And hopefully you can get that Elantra much further forward because we know you're capable. It's either that or get to week 6 and switch back to the Honda.
No, I won't. I don't think I'll do that.
No.
I didn't do it to be quicker. I did it just because if I'm going to be slow, I may as well be slow and learn something.
Oh, well, yeah.
So,
good logic.
Why not? I've done my time in the Honda, and prior to this league, I did my time in the Audi. Yeah, time to switch it up, and yeah, it's an interesting challenge, even if I am, at the arse end of the sort of front end of the field. So be it.
Yeah, I'm sure you'll move forward as the season goes on. You'll probably move forward with Jamie Jeffrey because I think he's got more to show, given his pace last season. But
a rear wing will move forward compared to the front of the car, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, great watching you race again. You got plenty of footage for Team Chimera. Anybody you want to shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to all the people that have joined for this one because they all did really well. I thought it's good to see the Racing Forces guys here, and there's a few others as well. Some of which returning. Miguel coming in as well. Wobbly bringing a teammate with him. I was in an impulse sandwich for a bit there.
You were. How much do you think he's paid Miguel to be his friend?
That's a good question.
It's going to be millions.
But is it monetary or is it services?
Well, yeah, it could be anything. Ooh,
right, Jamie.
Scandal.
And also, thinking about it, if I was in an impulse sandwich, is that not a kebab?
Very close.
Nice.
Very close.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Shush. Yeah. Shush. Keep it quiet. Shush. Anyway. Anybody you'd like to shout out to, other than
Oh,
the ones
we're
you've
in a
already
time loop.
mentioned? Yeah.
So a bit like a red dwarf. It's a white hole, sir.
I love that
Yeah,
program.
and yourselves for putting it on,
Cool.
and everything as usual. So
Awesome stuff. In that case, we will see you next week at Watkins Glen. Jamie Wilson.
thanks, guys.
Good night.
So, amazing field again. Great interviews. Unbelievable racing tonight. Lime Rock Park can be a bit of a snorathon because there's not that many places to overtake. But in terms of drama, some crashing, a lot of off tracks, and some self-inflicted off-track work. It's been full of drama.
Okay. Well, 2 wide was looking skinny because it was 3 and 4 wide.
Yeah.
And around here, that's no easy task. There's just about the room, but it's not like they're going straight very often.
No, not at all.
And we saw some very tasty driving tonight, didn't we? I mean, there's some incredible car control, incredible craftsmanship in the racing, with just really great racing sensibilities by everybody.
Yeah, it was a fantastic display of throttle control and brake control from all the drivers, really. I can't wait for Watkins Glen, even though it doesn't feature highly on some people's racing tracks. It has to be said, or favourite racing tracks. I like it though. I think it's a great track.
It was great, yeah. I loved it in my Ferrari.
But we will we will bring this. Oh, hang on, we've not done driver of the meeting, Alan. I haven't even thought about it. That was nearly the first of the sins to forget that. Right, so any ideas from you?
I already have. I've already thought I thought it before. But,
Did you? Wow.
Yes,
a bit more advanced than me.
You to go first.
Go on then. Oh, you want me to go first?
Yes.
Right. So
at least 2 on the kebab.
Yeah. Spencer has had a great night. He's been rewarded with his points, I think. Miguel, first time into this league and has performed very well. Very clean racing. Bit of a passenger in that crash at the very start. But we know he's a fantastic racer anyway. Wobbly goes against all my religions to give him driver of the meeting. Cal Hardy's done very well tonight, I have to say. Kept it clean. He was, what was he in the first race? He was about 5th or 4th in the first race, wasn't he?
He's had a fantastic night.
Yeah, where was he in the first race? First race he was 7th. All right, not quite as high as I thought. Gary's done all right. He got collected in that crash, or was the epicenter of it really, because he got nerfed out by Carl, left out of no racing room. Sam Blees, no, that was not his best week by his own admission. Stefan, he did all right, didn't he?
Yeah,
a 10th and a 7th.
Yeah, there's plenty. Honestly, there's so much good racing tonight, so much excellent driving. Yeah. We've actually got a rich field of contenders, which actually can make it hard or can make it easy, can't it? Because there are so many people who could justifiably get driver of the night.
Yeah, I think for me, it's and I don't normally vote for people that high up. It's either Spencer or Miguel, because Miguel's overtakes were really good, nice and clean. Yes, he got collected up in that first lap incident on race 2, but then so did loads of other people. He was just a passenger to that, and I tell you what, the straightening up of his car in that incident, he just snapped it back straight. Don't know how he did it, but hats off to that. So that is going to be the defining factor for me, and Miguel is going to get my vote this evening. Over to you.
Yeah, no, well that's good. On my list, my captain Carl, a really outstanding evening's work, and I thought he drove absolutely so passionately and with so much heart tonight. he would have been totally wrung out, and he had a fantastic duel with Freddie.
Oh, it was good that, yeah. And he
And,
stayed ahead of Gary to the end of the second race. Which
Yeah,
is no
under
easy job.
all kind of pressure, but the other person on the list is Freddie, because he drove like a hero tonight.
Right, okay.
And
Where did
I
he
think
finish in
since
the
you
first
get
one?
it to a new man,
Yeah.
I think I'm going to give it to a new man as well. Because I
Okay.
was very impressed with his driving tonight. The way he stood up Carl. Because Carl was putting him under immense pressure for a very long time.
He did.
And, and he was he was placed near the front, wasn't he, for the start of the long race. So
He was the pole man.
Exactly.
Oh, was he?
So he was right
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
front end, and a lot of pressure on it instantly, and he's so I was very impressed by him tonight, and he's going to be my driver of the night.
Okay. Oh, sorry, it was Demis that was the pole man. He went off second in the second race. So it was a Hydra race, Racing Forces lockout, that one. Something I forgot to mention is I'm running the Safe Driver Award. Probably should have told them before they started. So yeah.
I think not knowing is interesting.
Yeah, I'll remind everybody at the beginning of Watkins Glen because that is a coveted trophy for V8s. It's the Logan Jackson Safe Driver Award in V8s, and we're going to have our own in TCR. So let's see what happens with that. But for tonight, it was a Spencer McCarthy and Miguel show, and it's been very, very entertaining. I will say good night. I'll let Alan say his good night, and then I'll wrap up the broadcast. So thanks for everybody that tuned in, everybody that raced, all the new drivers that turned up, all the sponsors that are all over the cars. And we will see you next time out at Watkins. Stay safe, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, yes, all of that Pete just said, because that saves me having to say. And it's been a fantastic evening's racing, hasn't it? What a treat. We get so many of these fantastic, full of passion races, and it's just a joy. And I'm thankful to them and to you, and very good night to you.